Okay, pilots, I've had a request. That's right, that's right. Our good friend out on the West Coast out there, the Craft King #1, he was wanting to see the video of me installing my LED lights in my new Trojan here. It's not that hard. It's not that hard. And you just got to remember that you're dealing with styrofoam here, okay? You're not dealing with hardened steel. If you make a little bit of mistake, it ain't gonna kill you. But I want to show you what you will need here. All right. FMS #182 trainer. I hope you can read that. LED set. You'll get a red light, which I've dyed the lens there red. It'll be clear, but it's a red light. You'll get a green light, but I've already got it in the wing. Dyed it too. Alright. You'll get these landing lights. You get 2 landing lights, but they're on a wire harness here. See? So I'm not going to be using a wiring harness. I'm just going to be cutting these lights off and splicing them into my lead from my navigation light. And then you're going to have a strobing light. But this is not the light you'll be getting in that set. This is a bigger bulb. This set here come out of the big big T-28 Trojan that FMS makes. But that's a real big ass bulb there. But it's a strobing red light. And I'm going to give you a demonstration on how I dye the lens with a Sharpie, if I can. Do this. Get my camera close here. But I just take a regular Sharpie, like so. And just start painting it. I go all the way up to the corner there, and then I'll spin my bulb a little bit, go back down. Try to do it in just one coating, because if you go back and do it 2 or 3 times, it seems like it just streaks it. But you know, you can let it dry and do it again if you want to. It'll take it. But you do have to let it dry before you do any kind of work with it, because it'll come right back off on the. So you got to let it dry a little bit. Let's spin it back this way now. Go all the way up to the tip. That just gives it a more of a red tone, a little brighter red to me. Now, I don't do this to my jets, or no, wait a minute. I don't do it to the lenses, the light covers on my jets. I just leave them clear, but I do the bulb. And then sometimes when I'm doing warbirds, I don't do my British planes. I won't dye the lens covers or the LED covers on them, just to make them look a little bit different, you know. You don't want all of them to be painted or dyed. Just make it look different. But like I said, you let that dry. So that'll be drying. That's the strobing light that goes in the fuselage. I'll show you how I put that in here in a little while. But this is what I mean by dyeing the cover. That's the green one. That's the red one. Now those are the Dynam. It's the F6F Hellcat. I always get them two mixed up. And there's your number there. And I got them from Bitgo Hobby. I got the lights from Horizon Hobby. Lights from Horizon, covers from Bitgo. Alright, that's the navigation light covers. Now, the reason I show you that it's the F6F is because the F6F has square wing tips. Notice how the cover's got a square look to it there at the end, not a rounded, well, not totally rounded. But that's why I'm putting it on the Trojan. See how the Trojan's got a square tip wing? See there? If it was a rounded tip wing, I'd be putting a different kind, which is a Hurricane, or what's the other one? The AT6. I use the AT6 one. Landing gear. I mean landing light covers, but I don't think they got. What is it? What is it? I can't think of it now. But these right here is the landing light covers. Let's see, which one's that for? That's the Catalinas. Now the Catalinas are a little bit smaller, and I think, like I was talking about, the AT6 is a little bit bigger, and then that Trojan's even much bigger. So you want to look at your wing thickness too, pilots. You want to make sure you pay attention to how thick it is up here in the wing where you're going to put your landing light, to what kind of cover you're going to put on it. See, so you got to think about that. And what wing tip type it is. Now, Bitgo does good about keeping things in stock, and so does Horizon on those lights and those covers. Now, the tools we'll be using here is just a small screwdriver, straight head screwdriver. We got a small owl. We got a small 90-degree owl. Ooh. We got a hobby knife, sharp. And then you have your red and green Sharpies. Okay. So the first thing we're gonna do, we're letting our strobing light dry over there. I've already got my red one that's dry and our green one's in the wing. I'm gonna show that example later. But we're gonna take these little covers here, or latches. What are you gonna call it there? That cover that holds the leads in. Holds the servo lead into the wing. 11Hobby puts a little clamper, and they just glued in, but you want to be careful because when you pull them out, it might pull your paint off too. So you get that 90-degree owl up under it, just kind of lift up. It's that foam tack glue. It's not really that stuff that hardens up like epoxy or nothing like it. It's, so you can see stretching there. Try to get that glue off because you don't want it to be in your way while you're putting it in, because you're going to be putting extra leads, another light lead down through here, so it's going to be pretty thick. So when you come across this one here, see, it's a T-joint. See this T-joint right here? So be a little careful. Go first with one end. Pull it up just a little bit. I'm moving my flap here. Pull it up just a little bit on that one. Pull it up just a little bit on that one. Come on now, just a little bit. There we go. Just a little bit on that one. I'm trying to just keep that paint from pulling off. Just a little bit at a time. Getting it up. And we're gonna be trying to put them back in there. But that's how you get those out. Get your glue off. I think that's got it. All right. But you take the others. There's a couple more up through here, but I'll show you that in a little while where I took them out. All right, next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna get our hobby knife. And we're gonna determine the route of the lead by a panel line. Now, on the other side, you've got the stars and bars kind of went up over that panel line, so I went ahead and cut my decal. Instead of trying to peel the decal up, tear the paint up, glue the decal back down. No, that ain't me. I just went ahead and cut through the decal. You can do whatever you want. But the panel line, coming out to the end out here to where it goes square, and you'll want to stop right here. But where this servo lead kind of straight up right here, that's where we're going to start. So about 3 millimeters deep, we're going to make that cut right down through that panel line. Try Gotta stay in the power line, Eric. There we go. I'm gonna get out here at about right. Let's see, it was about right here, I think. Well, no, wait a minute. We went straight on out here, that's right. Okay, when you get out there to that end, alright, now we're gonna make a cut right here to go into this servo lead channel. But I'm gonna make that cut there a little bit wide, about 3 millimeters wide, because right there is where I'm gonna be tying in to my landing light. I made a cut. I'm just taking that hobby knife blade and manipulating that styrofoam out of it. Now what I'm going to be doing on the landing light is I'm going to be cutting my square out right here for the light base. And then instead of cutting a channel out to it, I'm going to be drilling a hole up through it, and it's going to be coming out right here where I've made that little cut right there. Okay. That's what the plan is. Alright, now we're going to come back out here to this corner. We're going to take one of our light covers and we're going to put it on the plane like we're going to have it. Just like so. Okay. We're going to take our fingers and we're going to kind of press down on it there real good. Making an indentation into the styrofoam where that cover is going to be. And I mean, do it pretty good too, pilots, because you do want that to be as flush as possible without having to trim it out. And this is the best way that I figured out doing it. They just kind of give it a good squeezing around it. And not only does it give it a little answer, let's see if I can get it to see that. There we go. But it tells me exactly where to make my cuts. But I'm not going to be cutting right on that seam right there. I'm going to be cutting about 3 millimeters to the inside to give my lens something to glue to. You feel me? So we're going to do that now. Let's see if I can do this. Like I said, I'm leaving about 3 millimeters. A nice sharp hobby knife ought to go right through it. See? And that's what you want. You don't want to make no tearing cut. You want to make a nice clean cut. And you come over here and going outwards. Nice clean cut. And that's what you got, see? That's what you got. Now, in order to hide and pretty things up, sometimes panel lines will go right straight into the angle that you need to put your light in. Sometimes they don't. This one don't. It's a little bit lower. Note how the center of my cut is the center of my cut is way out here. Okay, you can't see that. That's what I'm trying to do. That's my center of my cut, but my panel line's way back here at the back. So in order to hide that lead where it goes out there to where the bulb needs to be, I'm gonna do a little V cut right there. I'm gonna come up here a little over maybe 1/4 of an inch up above that body line. About 1/4 of an inch up above that body line right here. And I'm gonna make a 45-degree angle cut. Okay, I'm about 1 inch away from the cut that I've just made. Okay, out here, about 45-degree angle. I'm gonna try to make a straight cut, and I'm also trying to make that cut to where it's gonna come out to be near the center of the base that I just made. Near the center, that's what we're trying for. Trying not to make a tearing cut, trying to make a straight cut, so note the damage to the paint, not much damage. Now I'm gonna come back on this side, okay, and I'm gonna make another 45-degree. Note my 45-degree cut, okay. come back out here, and I'm gonna try to hit that corner of my cut, last cut. See right here? All right, I've already got this seam here is already cut, so I've got to come over here and I've got to make this cut. Remember, it's in a triangle, so we're gonna do as least cutting as we can, and hoping that this little thing will pop right out, just like that right there. So that when you get done putting your LED light in, pilots, you want to cut that V there that's in it a little bit flat. Just take your hobby knife and cut it flat so that it have enough room to clear the lead, and you can glue that piece right back in there. Okay, so you save that. Don't get rid of that. Now, I've used the other method, like I said, when that panel line would come straight out into it, where it led right to it, hell, I just cut it, you know, and put it in there. But this pretties it up a little bit, make it a little bit better. I've seen other pilots drill as far back as they could, you know, and come up and not have even a lead. See? And Tim T done an absolute amazing job on his AL-37. Good Lord, man. And just others I can name. Kenny, Hangar 51, man, he was showing off his 33 last night. Oh my God, you know. So it's what you want, pilots. I mean, if you want to make it a little bit cleaner, you got to think. You got to think a little bit. You got to use that brain. See? Come up with some stuff like that. But the method I use, let me show you right quick. That if you cut that, if you can make a nice clean cut down that panel line and get that lead down into it, see there? Eventually the foam will kind of like fold back over the top of the wire after a while, and it just literally almost hides it. But if you make a rough cut and edge and paint and everything, you know, yeah. So we've made our cut here, we've made our cut here, we've made our cut here. So I take my straight owl, okay, and I want to kind of smooth up my channel here. All I'm doing is sticking that point in about 3 millimeters and just getting that channel a little bit bigger. Just a little bit bigger. Now, you don't have to do this if you don't want to, but you can sit there all day long trying to get that lead up through there if you want to. I don't care what you do. All right, another cut I got to make. I forgot about that cut. You want to make this little valley right here a little bit deeper, right dead center, because, like I said, you're trying to put a shrink wrap bulb, see that black shrink wrap on there, you're trying to get it down in that valley there, deep enough to hide. So I'm gonna turn it here because I'm gonna have to show you something else on making the base for the bulb. But you want this cut right here to be dead right in the center, to come out right in the center of your angled cut you made on the wing tip, so that bulb will be dead center when you lay it down in there. See? Make you a 45-degree angle cut on both sides, well, maybe a little bit more than a 45 so you can get deeper. But try not to cut all the way through your wing, pilots. Try not to do that. You don't want to pop out on the top. Take your blade there and manipulate it a little bit, it'll come out. Now you'll be able to tell when you put that bulb in there if you got that channel there cut out wide enough, because it just will not go down in there. And you do not want to force these LEDs, pilots. You do not want to force them. You will snap that lead off inside that shrink wrap and won't even know it till after you've plugged it up, got it all glued in, and it don't work. So right now, I'm judging the very center of the hole, and I'm just making about a 4 or 5 millimeter circle, or maybe more, maybe 6 millimeter. But you go by the base of the bulb on how big you're making this little circle, about 2 millimeters deep, and I'm saying it's about 6 millimeters round. But after you make your circle cut, you just take your blade there and you kind of manipulate that foam out. It'll come out. But all you're doing is making a base for your bulb to set into, because if you just leave it sticking out there, your cover might hit it when you try to put your cover on. So you want your bulb inserted in there a little bit. Inserted. Insert your bulb. Alright, looks like that's cleaned up. Now, it's time to insert our bulb. Let's see if you can see that cut that I just made. Made a circle. Show it to you that way. See if you can see it that way. If you can see it, I just made a little circle base there. Hollowed it out. Get this back up here for a second here. I put these little pillow casings down to keep it from scratching it up. But what we're going to try to do is get that bulb down in that base. And I like to leave my black lead up. The black lead goes up. Bulb goes down into the base a little bit, just a little bit at a time. Then I'm taking my small straight screwdriver, and I'm just kind of pushing down on that lead there a little bit, get it down into that valley, just a little bit. Then I'm gonna push that bulb up into that base I just cut out. Get my shrink wrap down in that valley I just made for it. Now you can put your glue on there if you want to and everything, but when I glue that piece that I've cut out right there, it'll hold it in there. It's not going anywhere. That looks like it's centered to me. But like I said, I'm gonna get that black lead to show up. Get my red one in there first. And the black one will go in. And if you'll just kind of keep twisting and turning there a little bit and keep that red lead going in first and massaging it with your fingertip. Don't be pressing down on it real hard now. You're going to push your styrofoam in. So you just kind of massage it there a little bit, just like you're doing a decal. Take out where my screwdriver is. Get a screwdriver and get that red lead back down in there. But that's what you do there. Kind of massage that up through there. Now I'm just going to get this started good, and then we're going to flip over here to the other side and continue. I'm taking that flat screwdriver and I'm just pushing that lead down in there at about a, I don't know, 30-degree angle. I'm holding that screwdriver. And that pushes that lead right in there. The light's in it. Now, like I said, I'll glue that back in, and then I'll have the light cover right there over it. Like so. Get that over. There we go. We on there like that. But I'm going to show you how I'm going to put the landing lights in. Make sure I don't get them two pieces mixed up. I got my left wing and my right wing piece there laying. But they ain't going to go but one way. Flip it back over here. I've got my LED lead pushed in. I'm up here to the spot where I was gonna make. I know you can't see it with it pointed that way, but this is where we at, right here in front of this servo. is where I'm gonna put my landing line. There's kind of a panel line right there just for a square. But it's not gonna be that big. See, that's where I'm telling you, you get your light cover. I'll have to cut it with a blade anyway. We got our LED light cover. We're gonna put it on there. We'll squeeze. And make sure you get it up there on the top too. Make sure you get a good print in it. And that's not exactly as big as that square, but that's okay. You're mainly just trying to get a line there, knowing where that cover comes to. And we're gonna take this blade, and I wanna look, this time I'm gonna be looking at the top, because I want my top to look pretty. Make sure here, let me make sure where the cover goes. Yeah, it's got about 1 millimeter on each side of that line, so I'm good. Do about right here. Now, you can make that cut straight. You can make that cut in an angle if you want to, okay? Straight or an angle. Just as long as the bottom of it is flat, where that bulb is set nice and flat. I've done that in a couple of different ones. And I'm just gonna make this one straight since I've made my other ones, my other Trojans straight. I'm gonna make this one straight. I'm gonna make a straight cut. I'm looking where that cover made that indentation. I'm gonna come back over here and make this one. It's not gonna be too deep. Not gonna be too deep. And we're gonna go straight across, but what I like to do also on landing lights is give it an angle downward. See, downward. Just a little bit. Trojan's on tricycle gear, so that plane sets flat anyway. But these tail draggers with the wings shooting up in the air, you might want to put just a little bit of an angle on that base to get the light to shine more downward to the runway. You feeling me? So I'm gonna do this one straight since it's a tricycle gear and it's gonna be shooting out there straight anyway. But we're just gonna attempt to make a straight cut. Don't get in no hurry, but like I said, it's foam. You know, you can always go back and shave and clean. Somewhere ain't cut through. You'll know when that thing don't come out. It's still holding somewhere. And there's our cut. That's what you're looking at right there. See? Now, again, I'm going to get right dead center. Let me straighten this up. See there, I didn't make that one straight. So you can always go back and shave it there a little bit, and there you go. But dead center, I want to make that circle again. That's big enough for that bulb to slide down into and create a base. And we're going to manipulate that out. Oh, I forgot. There's another tool I need. See if you can think about it while I'm doing that. Made that hole a little bit too deep, but that's okay. styrofoam popped out there than I wanted it to. We gotta drill a hole. Okay. Now, you don't really have to make no massive hole unless you got a plug on the end of the lead. See that plug on the end of that lead there? Now, if you want to use your plug and everything on the end of the lead, you've got to make your hole big enough for that to go through. But I'm not going to be doing that. I'm just going to be splicing my stuff in. So I believe that drill bit right there will make it watered out big enough. So, here we go. We're going to take our straight owl. We're going to go from the dead center of that hole that we just made for the base of the lead, and we're going to shoot it in an angle here so we can come up. And there we are. See how my owl's sticking up through there? Alright. I'll bring it back out. I want to get that lead out of the way so that drill bit won't cut it in half. Because that, you know, that wouldn't be good. Could be trouble. I'm going to take a drill bit and we're just going to massage it in there, pilots. It's styrofoam again, I said, you know what I mean. And this stuff, man, sometimes it just don't cut. It just grabs a big chunk of it and pulls it out, you know. So just kind of massage it, that drill bit up in there. All right, okay. So you can get it. Like I said, our landing light is in a wire harness. There. Now you can use the wiring harness if you want to join in with the navigation system by using this lead to go to the battery or to the receiver. Using one of the landing lights connected to it, and then you cut this one off, and then you bring your navigation light into it. See, that way you'll have wire harness. But you gotta have two of them to do that, okay? And I don't need to do that on this one because, man, I got a ½ inch right here. You know, I'm not making a lead going way down here somewhere to connect up. So I'm just gonna cut these here, pilots. But I'm gonna save that wiring harness. You never know, you might need it. But I'm gonna give me enough to do my splicing. Yes, all I do is splice. I just don't like. Oh, we gotta get a pair of scissors, or you can cut it when you cut it somewhere. I don't like getting soldering irons near my foam planes. And we're dealing with I don't know, pilots, what is it? 0.3 amp or something. So I've cut them there. Yep, I've cut them. Open this wire. No, I'm not going to split open yet. Gosh, I about messed up. Because you got to get it through this hole. Get through that hole there. Now we can trim the ends and everything, whatnot, in just a minute. But you try to give yourself enough. Or I've got to get that bulb in there pretty good because that cover there. Yeah. You can look down on the edge there and see, make sure your bulb is right, but you want it to be level. And since this is a tricycle, you know, you want it to be level. You don't want it pointing up in the air, that ain't helping you. And pilots, man, there's a lot of you out there, not me, and it's experimenting with this night flying and stuff and getting a hell of a buzz off of it. I can't blame you because I can't wait. That's why I'm putting these lights in mine. But, I mean, you know, that's just off the chain. Okay, we got a lead up there. It don't look like I'm gonna need that much, so I'm gonna trim that just a little bit. Right, just a little bit. Just a little bit. You got to give yourself enough to do the splicing things and the taping. I forgot about the tape. Electrical tape. Black electrical tape. I'm gonna go here. Open that up. I I usually go about a little less than a ½ inch, maybe there. Pinch my fingernails. Do a little spin move there before the covering comes all the way off the wire. Now we're just gonna go ahead and cut this lead here now. We're just gonna have to, because we gotta splice it in. But we know we got enough here to work with. I don't like leaving scissors laying around either. But we're just gonna cut that right there. Leave that lead right here. I don't want to do it. I don't want to need it, but I don't want to do it. We're gonna get that one. Drip down. Leaving myself enough. Perfect. Get down into the channel. Pinch and spin. Pinch and spin. Black to black. Red to red. Don't never make no circular current with LEDs. First one will burn good, the others will look like they just ain't getting no power. They dull, dim, excuse me. We got the black to black, we got the red to red. Now we're gonna take it out of the lead and split it open. Try to make both sides about the same length, because you don't want one wire up here and another wire down here. You're gonna have a big mess there trying to straighten it. That one slid off before I could get a twist. It happens sometimes. Yep. Red to red. Let's see, I'm gonna go this way. I like the righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, the same way you do a bolt and nut. I get it all the way up over the top, and then I'll take that pair of scissors and I'll clip about 2 millimeters off of it, maybe 3. And I'm just going to take a piece of tape here, about less than 1 inch long. I don't need much, maybe 3/4 of an inch long. And I'm going to completely wrap that one up in it. But then when I put it on the other black lead, the ground lead, I'm just going to put a single layer of tape over it just to cover it up. I don't like to wrap them up as long as they ain't touching. And we've got to cut a little valley here for all this connection here to go down into. Just a little small piece just to cover it up. We'll have that. It's going to be on this side here. So we take our hobby knife just gonna make that without cutting our servo lead. Let me get that out of there. Get that out of there. And I'm gonna make on the side of the lead, I'm gonna be putting it on the side of the servo lead, whichever side I'm gonna put the light lead. I'm gonna make a 45-degree angle cut down into the styrofoam. Try not to make that channel bigger, but just make the inside of it bigger by taking a 45-degree angle cut one way and then the other way, and then taking that blade and see if you can just kind of get some of that out. Alright, that's what I've done there. I mean, it didn't make that channel that much bigger. See it right here? You can't even tell that I made that bigger. So we're gonna get our servo lead back down in there. Get a straight head screwdriver. Put that down in there. And get our navigation lead going back down in. Go ahead and just a little bit showing right there. Where my servo lead go? There it is. Always trying to get to the inside of your servo lead. Remember the little 3mm valley I cut in it right there? Look at them leads going right down in there. See there? Like a glove. Push that lead back in. Make sure that servo lead's all the way in. And you've done nothing more than factory. Okay, pilots. Now, this is my green line on this side, so where my green lens go? My green lens, there you are. Like I said, we're gonna put our piece back in there and glue it back in. There's our navigation light. Yeah. We got our landing light. Like a glove. So we're gonna run our leads on up through there where the servo leads go, and right down through the wing right here where the servo leads go in. No worries. So let's check out this strobing light right quick. Let's see, we're already at 45 minutes. So why not? Let me move this around a little bit here. I'm gonna put stuff on my pillow over here. I got to get higher. But where that dummy light is back there on the fuselage, that's where we're going to be putting it. Now there's another dummy light on the bottom. If you want to put one down there, I suggest putting a white one because I can't remember what was it. What was it? It's got a white light on the bottom of it now. Dadgummit. Anyway, I mean, they was making the comment that you could really tell you couldn't lose orientation with that white light on the bottom. You could really see it good in those banking turns. But right here is our dummy light. Get it turned a little bit so you can see that. There's just a little hump right here. There's a dummy light. And we're going to take a hobby knife and we're going to cut that dummy light off. Try, just if you have to, maybe stay a little bit above the fuselage and make that cut nice and clean. And if you wanted to, you could save this little piece right here, put it somewhere else on the plane if you want to. A little detailed doodad. That's right, doodad. That's right. It's a little bit straight there. Okay. Alright, now since I've already put some strobing lights in a Trojan, I know there's no wires, anything close to that we can just stick that owl down in there and make a starter hole right dead center. Now, yes, you're gonna run into some glue, pilots, and I know RC Air Marshal was building his Dynam, and man, he was putting his screwdriver down in there, and putting his, yeah, you're gonna do that, but you got to try not to really pull out a whole lot, because pilots, you gotta realize that's the glue that's holding your fuselage together. And when your screwdriver got it all up through there, then you've done pulled all your glue out of the seam there. So you might have to go ahead and maybe put some more glue in that when you pull out a lot of it. Now look at there. There you go. There he is right there. Whew. Just a little bit though. Now I'm not going to be needing the plug on the end of this lead neither, because like I showed you on the land lights there, I just spliced my stuff in. But I'm going to need my little fishing tool. Some models will give you these little fishing tools. And you put your lead in after I cut this plug off of it here. I'll try to keep it under hour. Uh-oh, I see my phone's in an angle there. My stuff might be letting go. I got to check on that every once in a while. Okay, I've got my plug cut off. Oh. I've got my bulb dyed. Just get my lead down in there. Yes, of course, you got raw styrofoam sitting there, but this big old ass bulb here, it's gonna cover all that up. Don't worry about it. Now, if you're using one of them smaller strobes like that comes with the FMS, you might have to take a little bit, maybe a little bit of silver paint or something, and do something there to make it look prettier. A little bit of black, make the base look like it's got a black to it or silver to it. Now we want to stick our little tool up in through here. My tool is being inserted. I can see the lead there, but can I get a hold of it? Lost in space. I believe I've got it now. Come on out a little bit further. Nope. Didn't want to come in a little bit further for me. I just thought I'm not trying to get down in there. I got it in the boat. Stick that lead down in there. put your little glue on it. Now, if you wanted to, you could cut the hole bigger there, make the base bigger, and stick the bulb on down in there. I might do that, or I might just leave it like that right there. And there you go, pilots. Another video on installing your LEDs. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something. But you glue all that stuff together there, and you got your lights. Wire it up. Put it on a plug. You might have to wire harness your lights into something. You can wire harness them into landing gear. You can wire harness it into anything except your throttle. I wouldn't do that. But there you go. I'm out.